Darren Aronofsky's Caught Stealing is a movie that I have wanted to see for a while. I wanted to support it in movie theaters. I'm an AMC A-list member. There's no excuse not to support the movies that I want to see in the theater and send a message, like one ticket sold to this guy. We talk about voting with our wallets, right? So I wanted to vote with my wallet for this movie, but it was only in my theater for 1 week, and I was not even in town that week. I think it was at a film festival or something. So I've been eagerly awaiting catching up with it. Now the 4K is out from Sony, and it allows me the opportunity to see this movie. It's weird that Darren Aronofsky, who is known for really heavy, divisive movies, has made a movie that is like this is his version of I can play in the mainstream, guys. I can meet you halfway. In fact, there's not a lot of special features here. There's 5 little featurettes that total less than 20 minutes. And they're all very EPK, electronic press kit, fluffy. But Aronofsky, the real deal, is one of these. And it's 5 minutes long. And he starts by saying, I know a lot of my movies are upsetting, so I wanted to make a movie that's really fun. And I'm like, okay, so this is Darren Aronofsky. Listen, guys. It doesn't have to all be so upsetting. Meanwhile, this movie is still upsetting. This movie is still dark as night. I mean, it is so dark. It's incredibly violent, but it's also Darren Aronofsky's version of a comedy. I've heard multiple people, Regina King is pretty high on the billing list here. When she was doing the publicity tour, she was like, I think this is what Darren considers a comedy. And I think that's true. Having seen the movie, I'm like, I think this is his version of a comedy, but it's still so dark and it's so violent, and there's the characters, man. But so it's adapted from a novel by Charlie Huston. Now, I don't know Charlie Huston's novel work. I know him from his comics work. He wrote a fairly highly praised and regarded run on Moon Knight in 2000, the aughts, the 2000s. And I was reading that at the time. And so now I kind of want to go read. There's 3 books about the character that Austin Butler plays. And I kind of want to go read those books. I'm a cat guy. I have 3 cats. And so it's always nice that the cat is a fundamental part of this movie. And I like the cat. It's got a great cast. Zoe Kravitz, who's always great. If you haven't seen Blink Twice, go see Blink Twice. Matt Smith, if you only know Matt Smith from Doctor Who, this is going to shatter any illusions you have about him as a person or an actor. He plays the aging punk anarchist who gets caught up in something that's pretty sinister. Liev Schreiber is in this. Vincent D'Onofrio is in this. Benito Martinez Ocasio is in this. Austin Butler gets top billing, and he really does carry the movie. And I think he does a really good job. A lot of times, when we think of Austin, I can't speak for you. When I think of Austin Butler, it's the shadow of Elvis, right? He's in the movie the Elvis movie, where he is Elvis, and everybody's like, he looks just like Elvis. Think of Rami Malek in Bohemian Rhapsody, and I'm even going to go with the Rocket Man, Elton John biopic. These actors that get prestige around biopic rarely outlive or outendure the fame associated with that role. They kind of get typecast for that one thing. It's been interesting to see Austin Butler throwing off the shackles of he's Elvis. No, he's carrying movies. The Bike Riders was one of my favorite movies that was last year, right? Or was it 2 years ago? Loved Bike Riders, are the Bike Riders, and now Caught Stealing is another great performance. Now, this is the kind of movie that's, I don't know, somebody out there's probably going to be like, well, it's very Tarantino-esque. Tarantino did not invent the thing. Tarantino played in the same sandbox that other creators like Hard 8, it's Paul Thomas Anderson, right? There's so many movies that the dumb criminal genre, it's like a whole subgenre of crime movies. It's essentially noir, but it's neo-noir, and we could even go further and say that it's postmodern noir. And I mean, people could be like, well, it's all just, John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson from Pulp Fiction. No, that is one example of a thing that exists on a much larger scale. Bad Times at the El Royale is a great example of something that people are like, oh, it's Tarantino-esque. No, Tarantino plays in the sandbox. Anyway, Darren Aronofsky is doing something here that is fun and it is funny, but it's also really sad at times. At times it's really sad. I mean, like not Requiem for a Dream sad, but it's still just like, oh man. And there were times in the movie when I just felt myself kind of like leaning, like getting tense. It was like leaning forward and kind of like, ooh, like there's real tension. It's a good movie. Is it a great movie? I mean, time will tell. This is we talk so much about, you know, it's the conversation around movies has been ruined by influencers and people on YouTube. And I know I'm one of those people on YouTube, but I don't do the thing that other people do, where the day the movie comes out, it's either the best thing you've ever seen, it's the worst thing you've ever seen, and there's really no middle ground. And we all know that negativity gets far more engagement and clicks and makes a lot more money than positivity. So you see just like trash reviews when movies come out, and there's no substance, there's no thought behind it. I think that Caught Stealing is a really solid crime movie. I like the characters. I'm excited to revisit it at some point in the not too distant future. And I think it's a movie that's going to age well. It takes place in 1998 and it looks like 1998, which is really visually interesting to me because of course I'm from the generation that was watching the crime movies in 1998, and then it wasn't too long after that I realized, oh, that was like a very special moment in time that I don't think we're going to go back to. So movies like this do allow me to go back to what I think was one of the best times for that subgenre, and the fact that it's Darren Aronofsky just kind of blows my mind. It really does feel, you can, I don't have to interpret it because he says it in his little talking head interview to introduce the thing. He's just like, I wanted to make a movie that like everybody would enjoy. Everybody's not going to enjoy this. It's still too dark, Darren. You're a dark man. You're a dark, angry man, I think. But if you enjoy the sensibilities, if you're not afraid of violence, if you're not afraid of darker themes and the dark underbelly of humanity, that's the territory Aronofsky likes to play in. And if you're not afraid of that there's good things for you here. Again, the special feature, I should review the 4K here. The special features here, great transfer, good sound. The special features are just like, whew, they're just fluffy. Hey, did you know that it was great to work with Austin Butler? Did you know that Darren Aronofsky always wanted Austin Butler for this movie? That's the kind of stuff. He's great. Everybody's like, and then have the people talking about Aronofsky like he's, well, I guess he is pretty iconic at this point. Vince D'Onofrio is like, I was having dinner with my friend Matthew Modine the other night, and we were talking. He reminded me that Stanley Kubrick told Matthew Modine that Aronofsky was the future of filmmaking because he had seen Pi. And he's like, I never told him that, but I just told him that on the set, so he'd never heard that before. So a lot of like circular compliments. Everybody loves everybody. But it's a good movie. If you've seen it, I would love to know what you think about it. And let's be honest, not a lot of people have seen this movie. This is another one of those high-profile, big creator movies. I mean, we've had so many movies coming out this year. Paul Thomas Anderson, Darren Aronofsky. I'm trying to think of some of the other like really prestigious movies that have come out really to not a lot of financial return. The audience is like, I'll go see a Marvel movie. I'll go see a Pixar movie. I don't want your original R-rated movie. You keep it to yourself. I want sequels. I want Toy Story 5. That's really what and if you say you don't want that, the box office numbers are telling a very different story. That's what people are going to see. That's all they're going to see. So we've had a lot of high profile, like, quote, failures this year. But in the future, none of that matters. In the conversation about movies that will have disconnected from the box office, disconnected from the new release, all that matters is people are going to find this on streaming services. They're going to be like, let me check this out. And they're going to be really impressed with it because it is fun. And it's also, it's surprising. I watch a lot of crime. I do commentaries about crime movies, right? It surprised me. It's nice to see a movie that is still capable of doing things that I don't expect. When I think everything is going to, well, it's A to B and B to C and C to D. So a movie that's like, how about we go over here to G really quick? And then we'll go to Z. And then we'll just go to numbers. We'll just skip letters altogether and we'll go to numbers because you're not expecting. It's just interesting. And it doesn't do it in a way that feels like it's trying to throw the audience. It's just kind of unique. And it's good to see a movie that feels unique. A movie that I haven't seen 100 times already. So this is my review for Caught Stealing. If you've seen it, I would love to know what you think about it in the comments below. You know what? I will link to this 4K in the video's description below this. Maybe I'll pin a comment too. That's going to be an affiliate link. It will support Cereal at Midnight. If you're going to buy it already, use the link, man. You support Cereal at Midnight without having to do anything extra. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Take care till next time. I will catch you later.